So, thank you. And thank you all for coming. Usually you think of meditation as a solitary event, but actually it's a communal event. And that communal aspect of it is based on a vow to help all beings. So that's the basis of Buddhism and of Zen. So usually you think about it, like you talked a lot about meditation. I mean, you don't think about the other part of it. But actually it's a communal activity. It's not a solitary activity. Even if you're doing a solitary retreat in a cave somewhere or something, you're actually doing that to help all beings. You're not, you're not there to earn a new badge on your merit badge thing, whatever that's called. So that's the great vow, which is the basis of Zen-style meditation. Sometimes we think about it as like I'm going to get something, right? But it's not about getting anything. It's about letting go and just returning to what you already have and using that to help the world. So that's the simple 25 words or less part of Zen. It's really easy being a Zen teacher because there isn't anything to teach. There's only something to experience. All these techniques we use are techniques that are pointing at what you already are, but you just don't know it. So we call that not that kind of not knowing, we call it ignorance. But there's another kind of not knowing, which means that what you actually are is not contained in understanding. I think that's the first thing that brought me to Zen is human beings don't understand themselves, nor are they capable of it. But there is something else, right? So all religions hint at that on some level. Like, what in the hell was Jesus doing in that cave anyway, or whatever it is? Every religion has something like that going on. So it's pointing to something else. So one way to think about these techniques is they're not techniques to master or techniques to test you or anything like that. What they're actually doing is pointing at something. So any questions this morning? If you ask a good question, it'll make this much more interesting, that's for sure. Yes.
I've heard it said that procrastination is actually a problem with impulse control. So what are some Zen strategies for dealing with impulse control and getting things done?
Right. It's looking closely at the Nike shoe ad. And the Nike shoe ad says, just do it, right? So in the end, it just comes down to that. And yeah, your mind is really clever, so my mind can only think of about 10,000 things to keep from practicing. So you just have to ignore it and just do it. But that happens all the time, right, to you, even in your regular life. Like circumstances will definitely congeal kind of out of nowhere and lead you to do something like go to the hospital or something, right? So, plus your life is pointing at things that maybe need some kind of something, resolution or help or something. So if you just pay attention to those are the things that push you to do it. So what pushed the Buddha? So the Buddha's got this really cool life, right? He's a prince, he's going to be a king, he lives in a nice palace in northern India there. But something pushes him out the door. And what is that? Those same things will push us out the door too. They're old age, sickness, and death. So old age, sickness, and death are the Buddha's main teachers. Teachers you don't want. You want her as your teacher, not old age, sickness, and death. Right? Because old age, sickness, and death don't take no for an answer. You haven't noticed. So that's what I'd say about that. I mean, the reason you can prevaricate and put things off and everything is you have the leisure because of a particular circumstance to do that. and soon you won't have that leisure. Right? So that's what pushed the Buddha out, right, of the door. He knew that being a king, his father's going to die. His mother already died, giving birth to him while she was hanging from a tree. So, it's not, in Zen we always say, well, there really is no time. So the only time you actually have is right here, right now. So you can listen to what I say and think it's stupid, or you can listen to what I say and think it's ridiculous, or you think it's great. It doesn't really make any difference. You don't have any time. There's only right here, right now. And that's it. We call that, in our school, we call it the moment world. We live in a moment world, but we think we live somewhere else. So you draw up some memory of the past and you go, oh no, shit, why did I do that, right? But it doesn't exist anymore. So nobody can give me even one second. My favorite thing is to ask somebody for 1 second of the past. 1 second is really short, just one. Nobody has ever been able to do that, ever, in the history of so-called human beings, whatever the hell that is. But nobody's ever been able to do that. Or how about 1 second of the future? You don't have that either. Although right now it is snowing outside. It's really nice. So that's what Just Do It is. Just Do It is coming back to this moment and, well, what are you doing? Maybe you're sitting listening, maybe you're yakking away like me, or maybe you're driving or something, but it sometimes pays in the long run to pay attention to just now rather than what's going to happen next week or Monday morning when you go back to work.
Right.
Because you don't have that. They don't even exist, which is pretty scary. Any other questions? Yeah, sure. Please.
I have a quick question regarding Christianity and Buddhism.
Uh-huh.
And is there a singularity that ties the two? I've read a lot. As a matter of fact, before I come here every Sunday, I actually go to church.
Church, good idea.
I do.
Too.
And I love that Sangha there of right. Like-minded souls and people. Right. And then I come here. But there's a lot about that connection with Christ consciousness and, with Buddhism.
Right. Yep. So my best friend is Father Kevin Hunt. He's a Catholic, he's a Trappist monk, right? So he's been a Trappist monk now for how long? 70 years or something. He's 90 years old. And he's, so most of that time he's been silent, because Trappist monks are famous for not talking. But if you get in a car with him, man, he'll talk your ear on and off again. It's not that he doesn't know how to talk, he just chooses not to talk, right? So there's many practices that are common between Christians and Buddhists. In fact, don't tell anybody, but I think they stole them from us. But and it's because you face the same dilemmas of human existence, So you're born and you die, and you didn't pick where you were born. I don't think I would. If I come back again, I'm not coming back to Nebraska. I do know that. So we face similar kinds of situations, whether you're in Lebanon now getting bombed or bombing somebody else or whatever. We call them your karma, right? Which means one thing that Buddhism has, and Christianity has this too, like you can choose. You can choose to believe in Jesus or not. I choose to believe in Jesus. Jesus is okay. But on the other hand, no human being can explain this, so I'll just talk about it. Blah, 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 blah. So on the other hand, you experience this what we call karma, which is cause and effect. So, for example, you're going to get old, like my beard is, you have a gray beard, I have a gray beard too, you just can't see it because I have it cut off. So you face those kinds of things, but then you also have this idea that you can choose to do things, like I'm going to go to Pascucci's for coffee. I'm not going to the Coffee Connection over here because Pascucci coffee is in Pascucci's is in Korea, so it's an Italian coffee joint in Korea, but it's great. So I can choose to go there, or I can go to Starbucks or something, right? But nobody goes to Starbucks in Korea except mafioso. So I like to go to Pascucci's, which is Italian, and there's no mafioso there. It's great. So we all face that kind of thing. Then whether you will do something or not, so you have to, you have this feeling you're making a decision, like I decided to go to the Zen Center this morning and practice. That was me. I did that, right? You think that way, but really, is that what's happening? I don't know. And I don't know. I'm not telling you how to figure out how to resolve that problem, but we do have this saying, just do it. So just do it refers to this moment world. So you have this moment world where you can do something, or you think you can do something, then just do it. Thinking about all that other crap isn't going to help one way or the other, but doing it will. So just do it. So that's one connection between us and Christianity. So Father Hunt is this famous theologian, this Trappist monk I know. But he says, forget all that crap, just do it. Right? But he's also a Zen teacher. Not only is he a Christian monk, he's a Zen master in a Japanese tradition of Zen. So he seems to have no problem meshing the two. And we have Christian Buddhist retreats here too. We don't discuss the fine points of theology during these retreats. What we do is sit and meditate, or we might say sit and do silent prayer of some form or other. Right? I used to have this Muslim student, and he said, well, I practice meditation all the time. And I said, well, what do you do? And he said, well, first I have beads, right? Muslims have beads just like Buddhists have, and Hindus have beads too. So they use beads. And he says, every time I click the bead, I say, there is only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. Click. There's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. Click. So he'd been doing that for about 15 years. So I said, well, why don't you try, cut out the Muhammad is his prophet part. Just say, there's only one God. Click. There's only one God. Click. There's only one God. Click. And then he came back a couple of weeks later and said, wow, that's great. I mean, my mind is just really oh, good, that's really good. So why don't you try, instead of saying there's only one God, just say one and then go click. One, click, one, click. Of course, then he's doing like a Buddhist practice, which is one, click, one, click. So I think all religions revert back to this, what we call your original mind, whatever the hell that is. You don't have a mind, actually, but you can call it that. So it all has to returning back to what you originally are, or what you already have, but you don't know it because you're thinking about all kinds of the crap all the time, and you're involved in all this stuff, right? So, but if you let go of all of that, then you just come back to, well, here we are. We're sitting here talking. Some of us are frowning inside of our mind saying, this is bullshit. And some of us are saying, wow, I never heard anything this great before. Right? But it all comes back to, here we are. right? And the same thing is true of Christianity. You can think about Jesus 2,000 years ago, or you can think about Buddha 2,667 years ago, or whatever they think it is. But in the end, you're just sitting, it's just, here you are, here we are, right? And this is it. Then what will you do? So that's the big question. So in Buddhism, and in Christianity too, it ultimately comes down to helping the world. So you can think about your salvation. It's funny because in Buddhism, here's one difference. You're not going to heaven, or if you are going to heaven, you put it off until everybody is saved, right? So we take the great vow not to get enlightenment until everybody has enlightenment, then I'll get enlightenment, or something like that. I can't even remember what the great vow is. So, but it's just about waking up right here, right now, because this is it, right, in Buddhism. And it's also it in Christianity, too. So you can't go back and help Matthew and Mark. You have to help you. And he needs help. So we're all stuck. We're all stuck in that same kind of existential quandary, so to speak. Okay. I mean, Jesus is all about love and compassion. Actually, it's not about getting so-called saved, whatever the hell that means. Saved is just about exactly like enlightenment. Never could figure out what it meant, but here we are. And then we have a job. In Buddhism, we always emphasize this job that we have to help everybody else. Any other questions?
I was just curious to, what moral obligation do you think we have in this life?
Yeah. Well, in Buddhism, it's always the same thing, to help the world. Now that might involve, and you don't know what that might involve. It might involve doing something bad, like, I don't know, I can't even think of it. So there's a great big reservoir with everybody's water, and somebody is going to drop a poison in it or something, and you have no ability to stop them except to shoot them from across the reservoir or something. So that might be a reason to actually shoot somebody, because you're going to save everybody else or something, but that's just an abstract thing I just made up. So in Buddhism, it's always about helping the world. So we have these things called precepts, which are kind of like the 10 Commandments or something, except there's no God in Buddhism, so there's no... the person that controls these precepts are these things that regulate your behavior, to like not kill people, to not abuse people sexually, to not steal, that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff is in Buddhism as what we call precepts. So they point you in a particular direction. So what you call moral authority or some kind of, it's all about the direction of your life. So the direction of life is the most important thing in Buddhism. That's to help the world. And Christians would say save it from suffering, right? So Jesus came down from somewhere. You probably don't know exactly. Our idea of it is always changing, if you notice. So it's about helping the world. That's the direction of it. So that's like the moral authority. But in Buddhism, you don't get punished for your sins. We would say you get punished by your sins. So those people that do bad things. I don't know if you ever done anything bad. Yeah,
I'm sure
it's not very pleasant for you either. Although you might come out alive, you didn't die during it or whatever, but it's not good. So it just comes from perceiving that, and how can I help in this moment? So if your mind is clear, you practice some kind of meditation or contemplative prayer or something. They're all the same, actually. They just call them by different names. You can return to what you originally are, and then you can use that to help the world. So that's like the moral imperative. Okay? Does that answer your question? But in Buddhism, it comes from direct experience. So the Buddha has direct experience of the world, and then that teaches him lessons. It also teaches us lessons. Right? So hopefully you can take those lessons to heart and change yourself so you can be more helpful for other people rather than causing trouble. Hopefully. Any other questions?
I'll try one.
Okay, please.
Thank you, Dae Kwang. So, when we recite the first...
Raise your hand so we can see. Oh, good. Okay, because we can't see your mouth moving.
It's like magic.
Right.
So, when we recite the first Bodhisattva vow, it feels very, especially as a student, Zen student, and a beginning Zen student, feels like it's unidirectional, right? I'm here to help you, and I think in reality it tends to be somewhat more mutual, and I suppose that would come down to situation, relationship, and function. But are you willing to comment on that?
Yeah. So when the first great vow is sentient beings are numberless, I vow to save them all, and you are one of those sentient beings, so you get to work on yourself too. It's not exclusively other people, right? Because you're one of them too. That's why it's said so, like you said, what'd you say? They're all universal, sentient beings are numberless. So all of the four great vows are said in a very expansive, all-inclusive way. So it actually refers to everything. It's almost a meaningless statement. It's so inclusive. And everything will, I vow to save it, fix it all, and then we'll move on. Which, of course, never happens. That answer your question?
So not quite. So it's more like my sense is that vow creates a self-perception of the person who's going to save the world, rather than it being that we are here to mutually save each other.
Yeah, right. Maybe. So figure out a better way to say it.
Okay, thank you.
But still, you'll just be saying something. So the purpose of that is to point you in a particular direction. It isn't an explanation. It isn't a solution. In fact, it's right? It's scary when you hear those four great vows. So those are also a kind of technique. So maybe you recite the 10 Commandments, or you say the 5 great vows, or the 10 great vows, or as monks we take how many?
Don't ask me. I'm not 352, I guess.
All right. Yeah, so nuns take 250 and monks take 250. Nuns take 350 and monks in our tradition take 250.
Oh, it's the other way around.
Yeah, right. That sounds discriminatory, but it has to do with the situations that women are in that men aren't in. That's all.
Like what?
Their bodies are different. Like, for example, like being on a bus. So if I'm on a bus and I'm a guy, I'm in a different situation than if I'm a woman alone on a bus, for example. So a lot of those are those extra precepts, well, you can read them online, that they're protective, like I vow not to walk more than 3 miles by myself through lower Manhattan or something like that, right? I mean, that's essentially what they are. They aren't that, but they're like that. It's not discriminatory. Not that Buddhism can't be discriminatory against women, which it obviously is on some levels. But it's 2,600 years old, too, so relatively speaking, it's pretty mild. But like he said, he doesn't even know I don't know what they are either. I mean, I've given them to people, I've read them, but I can't remember what all of them are. It's too complicated. But it is quite, it includes a lot of crap. I'll tell you.
More talking, is that it?
What?
More talking, is that
No, they're real things. You just can't remember what all of them are. I can't anyway. If you follow the first 5, you're doing a huge job. They become more, the things like don't walk more than 3 miles on a road by yourself and stuff like that. Because it's 2,600 years old stuff, so it doesn't apply much anymore. Or it applies, but you have to kind of reconvert it. Any other questions? Any questions about Buddhism? I used to be an expert on Buddhism. But thank God I forgot most of it.
It's about that time.
time to wrap?
It's time to quit. Thank you for coming and listening and practicing, if you're at practice. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the usual announcements. Thank you for appearing and thank you for the talks today. They're really great talks. And so January 6th to April 5th, we have a 90-day Kilche going, and it's still going. You can join for a week or more. And so you just register, go on providencezencenter.org, and you can find the registration. And Saturday and Sunday, February 10 and 11, we have a 2-day retreat led by Dennis Duramiah, Gita Popsini, my abbot. If you go out here, you'll see a photo with my mug on there instead of Dennis's, and that is because I actually have another commitment to do something somewhere, and so he's going to lead this 2-day retreat. He's done, he's very experienced. He's also our abbot, so please sign up for that. And then Saturday, February 17th, is a 1-day sitting, and it's 2 traditions. So it's the Full Moon Zen Center, and the Quantum School of Zen, which is us. And it's 2 different traditions. I believe they're Japanese style, and they're going to come here, and we're going to sit together and just kind of see what happens. It'll be the first time we're doing that. Apparently, they're friends with Zen Master Dae Kwang. He knows them, and so they're just going to get together and kind of do that, just kind of like we do the Christian Buddhist retreat, and see what happens. So you're welcome to sign up for that and see how it goes. That'll be interesting. So I'm going to be there. Zen Master Dae Kwang is going to be there. Their school teachers are going to be there, and their students are all going to kind of get in and mix in and see what happens. Maybe we'll have some discussion, some sitting. I think it'd be interesting. And we're still having our yoga on on Sundays from 8 to 5. We have Lisa and Daniel, they lead it. And it's a great way to start off your Sunday practice. Come in here and do yoga, and then come and sit and listen to the Dharma talk, socialize a little bit out.
It's from 8 to 8:50. It's a 50-minute practice, not, you said 8 to 5, that's a long.
Did I say that?
People are like, wait, we're not doing yoga from 8 to 5. No, just from 8 to, we finished before 9, so.
Okay, good. So then, continuing on with the program, so Wednesday evening we have public dinner, meditation, orientation, chanting, and so please come and join us for that. And we have Also, this Sunday class goes every Sunday. And of course, we have the Zen Center here, and the practice is free. Everybody can come and do the practice. And but the electricity and the maintenance and all the stuff that Lisa was talking about, walking around seeing a broken building and broken this and broken that, that takes moolah. And so hopefully we can have some donations. And if you want to donate, you can do it in person. There's a donation box. There's also a QR code at the entrance. And you can also go online. Along that line, we have a volunteer program. And this also run by Daniel. And so there's a forum out front, and if you have some talent, like, computers or building maintenance with the plumbing or anything like that, feel free. If you have just good intentions, we can use that also. Just come on in and she'll set you up with something. So feel free to fill out that form. And finally, membership is another way to support the Zen Center. If you want to become a member, that's very helpful. And you can also do that. Go to providencezen.org and you can do that also. Outside here, we have some snacks, and we hope to see you there, and we can chat a little bit. Thank you.
I think there's just no nice way to say it. You're not that.
My legs are funny, not sore.
Maybe. I don't know.
Thanks for joining the Providence Center live stream. We're live most Sundays, 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we're going to be Zoom only. If you want to join our Zoom meeting, find a link on our website at providencezen.org. The week after Sunday, February 11th, Terry Cronin, Judo Pope Sanim will be answering questions. Live stream on Facebook and YouTube as usual. He's been with the Quantum School since 1986. He received Inca from Zen Master Dae Kwang in 2014. Is now the guiding teacher of the Northern Light Zen Center in Topsom, Maine. Well, that's all for today. We'll be back again soon. From all of us here at Providence Zen Center, have a pleasant Sunday.
Sunil, did you deliver those comments live, or was that a pre-recording? I'm not going to hear from you. Can you hear me in the Dharma room?